Hi, and welcome to another everydaypaleo.com cooking demo. Before we get started on today's recipe, I just want to take a minute to thank all of my readers of my blog and viewers of my cooking demos. Really, you guys are all my inspiration to keep this thing going. It's been almost a year since I started everydaypaleo.com, and I started my blog as a hobby to keep myself accountable and to have fun with my kids in the kitchen. And what it's turned into is more than I ever expected. So thanks again to everyone for commenting and giving me amazing feedback, advice, and ideas. So look forward to my book coming out hopefully in February. I'll be continuing to post more details on that. And once again, just wanted to express my sincere gratitude to everyone else. So tonight we're going to make cauliflower fried rice. And I have been mentioning on my blog cauliflower rice, but I've never really given a great description for it. And so tonight we're going to make it, but we're going to actually do it up even more exciting than what I usually do, which is just steam some cauliflower and mash it. So we're going to add some spices, some onions, and fry it in some coconut oil. And then we're going to top it off with some thinly sliced pork chops and with a little drizzle of my walnut basil pesto. And that recipe you can find on my blog. So let's get started. So we're going to start with 1 head of organic cauliflower, and we're going to steam this, and I'm going to just break it up a little bit so it cooks a bit faster. I'm just going to cut it into quarters. So I've placed the quarters into my pot here, and I just am using a metal steamer basket, and I have about 3 cups of water in there. So we're going to cover it and turn this puppy on high. I'm actually going to move it to my hotter burner here. So while our cauliflower is steaming, we're going to get the rest of our ingredients ready. So first thing we're going to do is finely mince a red onion. And a little tip if you're going to be dicing up onion or mincing onion small, if you have half an onion, if you actually cut it in half again this way, but not all the way through, because you want to be able to hold on to the onion without it slipping through your hands. And then you're going to go ahead and cut through lengthwise, again leaving that little bit of an end. So this is going to enable you, like I said, to hold on to the onion, but then also make a nice fine dice. So we're going to go ahead and mince this up nice and fine. And then the end piece, you can just go ahead and finish off. And then if you want, you can just go ahead and run your chef's knife back through it one more time so you can really achieve that nice fine dice. So we're going to go ahead and add that right to our mixing bowl here. Cheers. And then the next thing we're going to mince up is our garlic. And I've got 3 cloves of garlic here. And same thing with garlic. You just want to first slice it up with your chef's knife. And then it's easier to get a nice fine mince on it. And once that's sliced up, again, just run that chef's knife through a few times till you get a nice fine mince on that garlic. Okay. So now that our garlic is chopped, we're going to go ahead and add that to the bowl with the onion. Add that right in, like so. And then our next ingredient is some fresh basil, which is going to really go well with our pesto sauce that we're going to put on top to have a little bit of that basil flavor in the cauliflower. And this is going to be about probably 2 tablespoons when it's all said and done here after I'm done chopping it up. So nothing like fresh herbs to make your food taste delicious. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this to our onions and garlic. And then we're going to check on our cauliflower. Our cauliflower is steamed to perfection. And we cooked this cauliflower for about 15, almost 20 minutes actually. And it's nice and soft, but it's not mush. So we're going to put it right in with our other veggies that we chopped up a few minutes ago. Hot, hot. Okay. Almost got it all here. And we're almost ready to do some mashing. And I'm so glad that Jaden decided to come along to help me, because this is a perfect job for your little guys or gals to do. If it comes to something like stirring or mashing, I always try and leave that part for the kids to do if they want to help.
Do I do it right now?
Yeah, actually the first thing we're going to do before we mash is we're going to add 1 egg. We're going to crack it in. Awesome. Hold it right over. Perfect.
No.
1 egg to the mix along with 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. And now we're going to add a little more seasoning. So we're going to put in 1 teaspoon of sea salt. Toss that in, my friend. And then some fresh ground black pepper, as much as you want. I can put it right in. So we're going to grind some pepper right in. And then we'll be ready for some mashing. All right, Jay, have at it, my little friend. Mash away. Okay, so let's mash together. Let's go raw.
Oh,
there
okay,
we go.
okay, I can do that.
Awesome, good job. Give it a couple more mashes. Get that cauliflower nice and mushed in. So you don't want the cauliflower to be complete pasty mush, but more like the consistency of rice. All right, so let's mix that up, Jay. We'll get that egg all mixed in. Make sure the flour is all mixed in and that the onion and garlic and basil is evenly mixed. Now that our cauliflower rice is to the consistency that we want it to be, we're ready to fry it up. So we're going to go on over to our pan and we're going to put in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. And we're going to make sure that our pan is nice and hot because we don't want the rice to stick. So when you're making anything like almond meal pancakes or the salmon patties that you'll find on my blog, you want to make sure that your pan's really hot because that might be an issue if your patties or your pancakes are falling apart. So for our rice, my olive oil or my coconut oil is actually kind of liquidy, which usually it's really solid. So I'm just going to pour some right in, which is kind of nice. Shows how warm it gets in my kitchen. So we've got about 3 tablespoons in there. And we're going to just let that heat up for a minute, and then we're going to start frying up our rice. Now that our oil is nice and hot, we're going to go ahead and take our cauliflower rice and just add all of it right to the pan. So look out for the sizzle. Smells really yummy. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and spread that out a little bit. And we're going to keep it moving so it doesn't get too stuck. So our cauliflower rice is getting pretty close to being done. We want to cook it for about 7 to 10 minutes on the stovetop here because it's nice for it to get a little bit of a crisp to give it like that real fried rice kind of texture and flavor. And now that our cauliflower rice is done, we're going to go ahead and transfer this over into another dish, and then we're going to prepare our pork chops in the very same pan as our rice to keep it easy. Okay, so in the same pan, I'm not even going to clean it, just to keep my life as easy as possible. I'm going to add like another tablespoon or so of the coconut oil. It's probably more like 2 tablespoons, but who's keeping track? Then we're going to heat that up. And right over here I have my pork chops, and they're really thin but the bone's still on, but I like them thin because they cook super fast. And I have just had these marinating for about an hour or so in the refrigerator, and just a little bit of olive oil, a pinch of sea salt, and some pepper. We don't need a lot of seasoning on these because the cauliflower rice has so much flavor, and also because we're going to top it off with that basil or that walnut pesto sauce. So already things are sizzling here, and I'm going to go ahead and throw these pork chops in, like so. Ooh, hot. And again, we're going to cook these on about medium-high heat, and they cook for about 5 to 7 minutes on each side. You don't really need to mess with them once they're in there. Just let them cook, and that way they'll come out nice and tender. So we made up to go along with our pork chops and cauliflower rice and walnut basil pesto, one of our favorite green salads, which is just a mix of organic lettuce, and then we added half of a chopped or diced organic apple and about half a cup of julienne, I don't really know how to say that word, sun-dried tomatoes, and we added just some fresh cracked black pepper thanks to Jaden. And I think that the sweetness from the apple and that little bit of crunch is going to go really well with the savory pork chops and rice. So here's our pork chops. We've cooked them for 5 minutes on each side, and we're ready to eat. So we're gonna pull out the cauliflower rice and we're gonna put this whole dish together. So I've got hungry little helpers ready to eat, so we're gonna put this together quick. I've put some rice on the plate, and then we're gonna go ahead and slice up our pork chop into some kid-friendly pieces here. See, it's nice and done, nice and tender. So this is probably a good size to get started with. My little rowan here. So I'm going to put these pieces of sliced pork chop right on top of the rice. And then I have some of our family's favorite walnut pesto sauce. And I swear this is so good, it would even make ice cream taste better. Okay, well maybe that's pushing it, but it's pretty darn good. So we're going to drizzle some of this on top of the pork chops and the rice.
Count them. Yes, count them. Why you...
Hey Rowan, are you ready to taste it? And then we're going to add some salad to our plate, and our meal is complete. Okay, so we're ready to give this a try. So let's get a little piece here. Okay, Jaden, you get to do the honors. Good? Do you want a bite?
No.
You're already eating some? Yeah. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in again to another episode of Everyday Paleo. And please don't forget to check out the website for more recipes. And comment away because it really keeps me going. I love to see what you guys have to say. Thanks again. See you next time.